and Bosch. So we'll start with Coach Swear. And Coach Swear, you've played a couple matches so far this season. What are you seeing from your team so far?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a fun start for us with a lot of new guys in the program. And these early season matches are a good way to kind of see what you've got, formulate the new team, create camaraderie, build relationships. And we've been able to do that so far this season. So it's a fun time of year, and something that I always look forward to is how to bond and develop as a team in a new season.
Last year, you had a lot of seniors on the team. I think 13 was the number. How did you replace that group, and what are you seeing from your new guys so far?
Yeah, I mean, the bad news is we lose, 8 or 9 starters, 13 seniors. The good news is they had so much success that we were able to attract a lot of talent. So, their legacy lives on through the guys that are coming in this year as new players. And so I think something that we're excited about is letting those new guys come in and carry that legacy forward. So a lot of talent that we just need to get it all going in the same direction.
Yeah. How do you see that talent developing so far?
Really good. We've had some of the guys that we expected to be top performers have come in and done that. We've had a couple guys that have been surprises as well, which is always nice. The challenge is there's only so much time to get everything figured out before we start conference play, and so that's kind of the thing that we have to work through right now. Sometimes we need to use JV matches for that, give guys opportunities there to perform as well. But yeah, so far we've been really happy with the talent level and positive attitudes that the guys are having, and kind of learning what our culture is like day to day.
You mentioned that conference play is coming up. Talk about the GPAC this year. Who do you see as some of the top contenders? Where do you see yourselves in that mix?
Yeah, so I would say the last couple of years we've seen kind of some of the perennial powers have maybe come back down to earth a little bit, but then there's kind of a grouping at the top of 4 or 5 schools, I would say, that are pretty consistently competing for titles. Briarcliff and Concordia come to mind right away. And then, of course, we've won 2 trophies in the last 3 years as well. And then maybe thinking of like a Morningside has been pretty consistently good as well. So I think it's going to be really tight at the top. I think it's going to be really competitive there. And it's going to be a fun season.
Some of your seniors talked about those 2 trophies and how, if they can get a third this year, that would put them among some of the best classes in Red Raider history. What is this senior group? What are their goals for the year beyond winning the GPAC? How do you see them leading this year's squad?
Yeah, I mean they're serial winners, right? They know how to win. They hate to lose, and so. I would say big picture, they want to do more than we've ever done, right? They want to go to nationals and compete well there. But I would also say that, they do a good job of keeping perspective on the day-to-day. So they don't look past any opponent, and they show up every single day and compete at the highest level they're capable of. And I'm a firm believer that in terms of goal setting, that's it. You show up every day and do your best and let the big picture results take care of themselves. And I think this group of seniors has done a really good job of that. They know that all their success is earned through the hard work that they put in every single day. And then that's why success has followed them everywhere they've gone. So again, we're blessed to have them kind of passing that torch on to the young guys this year. In their final season as Red Raiders.
Let's switch gears a little bit and talk about your matches so far. Have had some tough competition here in the early goings, had a couple draws. What what would you like to see more out of in this group? Where's the potential that you see this group going after these first matches?
Yeah, I think the obvious one is that we're coming off of several seasons of great defending. We had a lot of our senior impact guys were backline players, and they did a great job of keeping shutouts. And now we have new faces back there that have to, come together, learn how to play well with each other. So I think earning shutouts is a big priority for us. And then I think just consistency on the attacking side. I think the talent level on the attack is maybe better than what we've had. And so now the challenge is going to be, it's so hard in the sport of soccer to score goals with team play, right? So it takes a lot of things going right. And that takes guys being on the same page with each other, learning each other's tendencies, understanding where to go and where this guy likes to play his passes, right? So all those things have to come together, and we need more time together to get to that place. So those are two areas where I think we can really grow a lot yet this season.
And one final question, mostly reflecting on last weekend, very tight match with Grandview, and you saw that that free kick from Stan to Nico at the end. Talk about the excitement in the facility that night when Nico hit that goal. I was there, and it was electric.
Yeah, those moments are really fun. I mean, that's what guys dream of, is those moments where they can score a big goal in a big moment to change the complexion of a match. It's culmination of so much hard work and dedication to the program. Again, two of our seniors connecting on that play. And that's the type of culture and environment we want. And when you play as a team and not as individuals, then it's so much sweeter when those moments happen, because now you're happy for yourself, but every single guy out there is extremely proud of you and happy for you as well. And so when you have 25 guys who are all genuinely happy for each other when good things happen, that creates a really healthy culture, and it's fun to see that so early in the season already. In a moment where somebody stepped up big, everybody got behind it and could just relish that moment together.
All right, Dan, that's all we have. Thanks for being our first ever guest on the Raider Coaches Show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we'll cut to commercial, and we'll be back with more interviews right after this.
Come to Northwestern because ideally I was looking for a smaller campus that involved faith, and once I came on my visit, it just really felt like a place I could call home. I really enjoy the community. You're just surrounded by people that love the Lord, and they're grounded in their faith, and there's nothing more you could ask for there. I'm most grateful for my relationships that I've been able to form here at Northwestern. It's so cool to see different people coming from different places, but all coming together as one.
Be a Raider. Lead and serve.
Be smart and strong.
Courageous and faithful.
Build community and experience belonging.
Be great, because excellence honors God and serves others.
You belong at Northwestern College.
You'll stand out here.
You'll be equipped for your career.
For God's call on your life.
For success.
For significance.
Because you'll be a Raider.
And Raiders stand out.
All right, we're here with our second guest of the Raider Coaches Show. Here in the month of September, our first ever edition of this interview show presented by Iowa State Bank. Here's Kyle Vandenbosch, head women's volleyball coach for Northwestern. Kyle, thanks for being on today.
Yeah, you bet. Excited to be part of this first show.
Just making sure that we're good to go. Kyle, first let's reflect on the game last night. Played a pretty competitive Briar Cliff team, but ended up coming away with a sweep. What did you see from your ladies last night?
Well, first of all, I thought the students and the fans were unbelievable last night. I bet there was 500, 600 Northwestern students there. That created just an awesome home environment. I know our players really appreciated that. To be able to have that level of camaraderie for our students and just really helped our team, bring a lot of energy that way. So I thought that was really good. And then I thought our team performed really well throughout the whole night. I thought we had control of the match throughout and did a good job.
There's a lot of balance across the board, and that's something we've seen a lot this season. Talk about the depth of this year's team.
Yeah, you know, we have 8 returners off last year's team, and that's been helping us quite a bit early on, but just settling into matches. And then I feel like, you know, we have depth at each position all the way through our JV, you know, with a lot of good players. So that's definitely, you know, we've had a lot of different girls step up in a lot of ways, I thought, to start the year already.
Looking at your non-conference schedule, and I mean, granted, you do have one non-conference opponent remaining, but this early part of your schedule before GPAC play, got to play a lot of quality opponents at different areas of the country. What have these early season tests, how have they benefited your team so far?
Yeah, we've been to Montana and then down to Omaha twice. We've seen a lot of variety of teams, you know, teams that run a 6-2 offense, teams that run a 5-1 offense, teams with really elite outsides, with great middles, great rights. And I think our team has done a good job of adjusting throughout a match. You don't get a lot of chance to scout some of these teams too much before, just because it's everybody's first couple of games, so you're kind of figuring out the team as you go. And I think our team has done a good job of being able to adjust. And you know, we have a lot of juniors and seniors part of the team that they're able to really able to, you know, dig back into maybe previous matches, like, hey, we've seen this type of outside, here's how we're going to defend it. We've had, you know, new coaches that have done a really good job of bringing different things. One of our seniors, Katie Hopkins, has done a good job of figuring out other teams' strategies as well. So I think it's been a real good team effort.
Yeah, talk about, you know, we talked about the depth of the team. Who are some of the players who have stood out to you so far?
You know, I think a lot of it's been a team effort throughout. You know, we've had great senior leadership from our girls, but you know, everything we do is about us as a team. You know, and you know, some girls will finish plays, but there's a reason why it's finished, whether it's a great fake play in the middle or something. But this team has all been about team, and it's been really fun to watch.
Looking at your upcoming schedule, you have Morningside. They flew up in the rankings and then fell last night. Just goes to show how competitive the GPAC is this year. Talk about the GPAC and the competitiveness that you have on your schedule this season.
Yeah, we have a lot of respect for all the teams in this conference. Everybody's good. We really have an intentionality of not overlooking anybody. And obviously our next opponent is Morningside, and they're a ranked team, and you just have to come in ready to compete hard, especially on the road. Nothing's ever easy. And that's the fun part of being in this conference, is you get challenged every night, which helps you get better. You know, so we know teams are going to come out swinging against us. You know, they're going to serve aggressive. And we're going to try to, you know, each time prepare as hard as we can and put our best foot forward every night.
And that's something you have to do when you're the number 1 ranked team. That ranking came out yesterday. What is your message to your team and how to stay focused on the year ahead, even with that ranking next to their name?
You know, we honestly don't talk about the ranking too much. You know, we just really try to prepare well, have a good practice every day, really stay in the moment, you know, talk about today's the most important day, you know, just preparing and getting better. You know, as a program, that's where you want to be as the top team in the country. You know, you don't want to be at that spot that everybody's giving you your best shot, because I think it allows you to get better every match because you get everybody's best shot. So, yeah, we don't talk about it that much. We don't think about it that much. We just try to prepare and put our best foot forward in every match.
Yeah. And talking about putting your best foot forward, you know, that's something that your team has done well this year, getting out to good starts, but have also had some competitive 5-setters, looking at Kokomo and Bushnell. How do you look to start strong in a match?
Yeah, I think starting strong in each match is really important. And it just takes each girl doing their own roles pretty well. The passer's giving a good pass, setter's giving a good set, hitter's taking a good swing at it, you know, and then defending as hard as you can. But, we're trying to be intentional about it. We haven't been perfect at it yet, but I've also really liked how the way these girls have finished each set. I think they raised their level of play down the stretch, which we love seeing.
Yeah. What are your goals for the season?
Right now is to put a good foot forward against Morningside and really enjoy this group. It's a special group of young ladies. They're really awesome to each other. They're fun to be around. And then, that's our goal, is to stay in the moment and enjoy this journey. Where it takes us, we're super excited about that. But, man, that's a long ways away. We're just trying to really have a good practice today and then put a good match against Morningside.
Yeah. You have the weekend off. What does the next week look like for your team?
Yeah, it's been a pretty busy start. Obviously, we played 11 matches already, so we're going to take this weekend. We're not practicing tomorrow. Just get refreshed. We know it's a long season. There's a grind to it. So we'll take this weekend off and then get ready for 2 tough matches next week. And then, just keep plugging along. Awesome.
That's all I have for you, Kyle. Thanks for being on today, and we'll be back after this commercial.
All right. Thanks, Bradley.
You belong at Northwestern College.
You'll be equipped for your career, for God's call on your life.
For success, for significance.
Because you'll be a Raider, and Raiders stand out.
I would encourage students to choose Northwestern because the coaches and the professors here get the best out of you and they see the best in you. The opportunity to play football for a great program and get a great education was ultimately why I chose Northwestern. I'm proud to be a Raider because at Northwestern, excellence is the standard. And that applies on the field, in the classrooms, or how people just interact with each other. The community at Northwestern is awesome, and it just feels like home away from home.
All right, we're back for the third of 4 segments on our Raiders Coaches Show. Joining me right now is head coach Matt McCarty of the Red Raider football team. Matt, thanks for joining us today.
Absolutely. It's great to visit with you.
All right. So you have your first game, week 1, coming up against Hastings. Just talk about your team's level of excitement coming into this weekend.
They're really excited to play a football game. I think they're ready. It's been 3 long weeks of practice. They're definitely sick of each other at this point. And so they're ready to get out and see somebody else and compete against somebody else after a really good, productive fall camp. But it's been long, and game week's been a good change for us.
Yeah. Talk about Hastings, how you've been preparing for them.
Yeah, Hastings has a game under their belt, so that's a little bit different for us. In football, we always talk about you see a lot of growth from game 1 to game 2, and they played last week, and they played a close game, played an overtime game, lost in overtime to Peru State. Return a lot of players from last year, so you've seen growth from them. It's a new coaching staff. From year to year, they've gotten a little bit better, have some really good athletes, and so for us, we know we have to be ready to play, and we can't ease into it being our first game. We've got to be ready to go and hit the ground running from the start.
Looking at your team this year, there's a good mix of really strong returners and also some new faces. Talk about the strengths of this year's team and how you look to utilize that.
I would say our biggest strength on this year's group is the experience that we have coming back. We've got quite a few guys that have played in 2 or 3 national championship games, have been for, this is going to be their 5th year as starters for us. And so that experience has been really big for us as we've started fall camp, and it's been a really good foundation for us. And then there is a mix of some younger guys. We've had some really good recruiting classes the past few years that have blended with those guys who have played a lot. And so there's been really good competition. And then we have some young freshmen that have stepped in that are going to be on the field competing for us. And so that blend has been really good. I think our upperclassmen have done a great job of setting the tone and setting the standards, and our young guys have really blended in well. I would say the strength of our team, is the experience. Offensively, I think we have 8 starters back. Running backs with Connor McQuillan and Logan Meyer up front on the offensive line. All 5 of those guys have started multiple games for us. That's comforting. And then some really good playmakers at receiver. So that's awesome offensively. Defensively, we have 10 starters back, really. And then you add Parker Fryer to that mix and Corver Dema. That group's been really solid for us. I really feel like that group could be one of the best defenses we've had.
What does it mean to have a guy like Parker Fryer back?
I think the whole experience and how everything played out, I think it's really good. It's a good example of what our program's about and the experience that kids have playing here. He was able to play at a high level for us, have the opportunity to go play somewhere else, compete at the Division I level, but come back and finish his career here with his friends and in our program. Parker's a phenomenal football player, but he's also a great leader and just really been impactful in our program over the last 4 years.
And then looking at the offensive side, I'm sure a lot of people have been asking you. They've been asking me, hey, what's the quarterback situation look like? Talk about those newcomers that you have and what you've seen from them so far this year.
Yeah, we're gonna trot somebody out there on Saturday. It'll be a true freshman, which we're excited about the group of guys that we have. One of the benefits, Jalen leaving early in the summer, was we knew that we would be playing a young guy at quarterback, and so those guys were able to prepare with the mindset of they needed to get ready to play, and they've done an outstanding job with that. Right now on Saturday, Hayden Gross will be our starter on Saturday. Colby Duncan, Brody Peterson will also come with us, and all 3 of those guys have done a really good job in fall camp. Been really impressed with the way that they've been able to pick things up and the poise that they've played with. I think they go against our 1 defense every day in practice, and that's not easy. That's been a challenge, but they've handled it really well, and I think our players and our staff have a ton of confidence in those guys.
And then talk about the guys around them, the receivers, the 2 running backs, and McQuillan and Meyer and the rest of the depth chart underneath them. It's a good offense for them to step into.
It really is. They don't have to do everything, which I think is comforting. I think we can really run the football well. Connor led the country in all-purpose yards last year. Is a great threat out of the backfield, catching the football as well. When Logan's healthy, Logan's one of the best backs in our conference as well. So that's a great 1-2 punch. And then Austin Gerard had a really good season last year, really came on in the postseason. Ty Schaefer's kind of a nails guy for us, does everything for us, an awesome football player. And then getting Tanner Scouten back has been a big boost for our offense. And then you have Peyton Carroll and Sam Remerdy have been great at the tight end position for us as well. So there's some really good weapons around that position, so they don't need to feel like they have to do everything.
Let's switch gears and talk about the schedule. Obviously, looking at Hastings this week, that's the main focus. But last year you didn't have a bye week. You filled the week with the Drake game, which was a great experience. But then also looking at your schedule differences this year, Jamestown replaced with Waldorf. So your schedule looks a little bit different this year. Talk about how you see your team responding to this year's schedule and what the GPAC looks like overall.
Yeah, I think the league is a pretty deep league. I think the talent across our league has continued to improve, where every team has playmakers and every team has players that can beat you if you don't play your best. And so you really have to prepare to be your best week in and week out, and that really helps us. We feel like as we hopefully improve and grow throughout the season, that by the end of the year we're playing our best football. So yeah, each week you have to be ready to go. Adding Waldorf to the mix, we haven't played Waldorf, and so that'll be a new mix or a new team into the mix. Unfortunately, we don't have a non-conference game, so we do have that mid-season bye, which hits at a really good spot as an opportunity to refresh and refocus on what we do. But it's going to be a grind of a season in terms of we play some really good teams towards the end of the season, and I know that allows us to really learn who we are from week to week and just grow from week to week.
Yeah. Next week we don't have a show, so we'll talk about it now. First home game next week, Mount Marty, is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Mount Marty is a fairly new program. what can our fans expect to see from the Raiders against that Mount Marty team?
Yeah, it'll be great to play in front of the Raider crowd. I think we have a huge home field advantage. I think Raider Nation is phenomenal, and it's an amazing experience when we get to play at home in front of our crowd. The student sections, the parents, the families. It's a phenomenal environment playing in Orange City. Mount Marty is a team that continues to improve. It's a young program, but they've gotten better from year to year. Coach Micheletti does a really good job. They're really strong defensively, and so we'll have to be clicking offensively against them next week. They had a big win last week over Culver Stockton, so it'll be a good challenge for our first home game. We'll also do senior day on that first home game, so it's an awesome opportunity for us to honor our seniors and their families and their contribution to our program as we kick off the season. Usually the weather's nice. There's more people in the stands than a snow game late in the year, so it's a great time to honor our seniors and their work and their contribution to our program.
All right, Matt. Well, that's all I have for you. Best of luck. Safe travels to Hastings this weekend, and we're looking forward to seeing our Raiders play.
Thanks a lot.
All right, that's all we have for coaches' interviews. We will welcome Vice President for Athletics Tony Hoops up to the stage after this break to talk about some of the new initiatives in Red Raider athletics.
I chose Northwestern because of its reputation as a great Christian college with great academics. The academics here at Northwestern are the perfect blend of rigor mixed with realistic expectations, and it comes from professors who are top-notch and willing to have fantastic relationships with students. They believe that faith and scholarship can be integrated and are not independent, and so I've grown tremendously as a student and as a Christian through that faith integration.
Welcome back to the Raider Coaches Show, and not a coach this time, a former coach in Northwestern, VP for Athletics, Tony Hoops. Tony is going to talk about some of the new initiatives in Red Raider athletics, and Tony, you want to just give a general overview of some of the new things that are going on, including this Coaches Show?
Absolutely. I appreciate Bradley putting this together and his team. We're excited to have a fully staffed sports communication group this year, which is I know Bradley's really excited about, so that's great. Welcome in Austin West, who will start this coming week. You'll see some new creative content stuff that's coming out of Red Raider Athletics, whether that be through social media or just through general content through our website and all those different details. But really we have a great market here for Northwestern College, right? Like we have some unbelievable sport programs. We have unbelievable coaches, some of the nation's best people here in Orange City. And how do we celebrate? How do we honor that? How do we brand ourselves in the best possible way? And so your team's doing an outstanding job with that. We're going to continue to grow that in some way, shape, or form this fall and throughout the remainder of the year. And so, yeah, one simple thing here, the Coaches Show that we're going to do for the Orange City community and try and get people in here every single month. The Hub's an exciting place and always a fun thing to do in the middle of the day, but at the same time doing some different things there too that really trying to make it more of an engaging crowd. You know, last night if you were at volleyball, you saw some fun initiatives that we're doing there with some lights and some throwouts and some new fan games and interactive with our student section. We want to make it all of our events. You know, we've got high quality teams, but we want to make it a high quality event as well. So try to add all that stuff there too, and appreciate the work that you're doing, Bradley, and your team to make that a lot of fun.
Part of that new event operations is online ticketing. We've partnered with Hometown Ticketing for our digital ticketing initiatives, and talk about some of the details of that process and what fans can expect to see this season.
Yeah, so we've gone to an online platform. For some of you veterans out there, our older audience, say, we'll work with you. It's okay. It's not going to be the end of the world. It's okay. It'll be just fine. But Hometown Ticketing is a group that I worked with at the previous institution I was at. They have a great platform. They're easy to work with. It's a very user-friendly environment. But this process is really long overdue for Northwestern College. It'll make our lines a lot more efficient. It just improves our overall efficiencies of our staff and what we can do. We rely on a lot of student workers, and that's challenging a lot of times for those students and to hire those positions. So going to an online ticketing platform helps us in that capacity there too. But the biggest thing would be is getting your passes early on or getting your tickets early on, not buying them at the gate will speed up your process a ton. Also, there's a lot of different pass codes out there, whether you're a parent, getting that stuff reserved ahead of time. But overall, Hometown Ticketing has an app. I encourage you to download that app, and then you can store your pass or you can buy your tickets throughout the entire year. All of the games are loaded for the entire year. Patrick Cinema is doing a lot of work with that, our associate AD. And you can go online and buy tickets anytime 2 weeks prior to the event. But the idea behind it is can we improve our efficiencies at getting people into the stadium as fast as possible or whatever the event might be. And last night was our first night doing it with volleyball, and it went really well. And a couple little things here or there, but overall went a good process. We'll have our first home football game, obviously, in a week. That'll be, just like anything, change is hard. And the first time we'll do it, it'll take a little bit, but once we get into it, should be a pretty seamless process. But if you have questions, ask them early. My biggest fear is that everybody panics next Saturday, and then we're scrambling around like crazy. So ask your questions early, but it shouldn't be anything too terribly difficult. Download that app. It'll help you out a lot as well.
Yeah, and another piece of that, last night with volleyball, a really great student turnout. There's a lot of excitement in the crowd. Part of that's due to our new fan engagement graduate assistant Noah Godsell, work he's put in, work that you've put in since you've come here. Talk about some of those new fan engagement initiatives.
Yeah, Noah's done a great job, and overall, working with Taylor Decker with our cheer and dance program, trying to launch a game day experience committee. At the end of the day, is college athletics is fun. Like I have a dream job working here at Northwestern College. Our coaches do as well. Like, let's make it fun. Winning is fun, and that's an element that we are able to do a lot here at Northwestern. We're super thankful for that, but we wanted to make it the greatest experience for our student athletes, and a lot of that comes into you as a fan. No matter what whether you're an alum, just a local community member, or our student sections, we want you to have fun. And so in regards to that, we're putting in some new things that'll be fun with that, and Noah's doing a great job with that, and he'll be partnering with some community entities to make it really a win-win for everybody, because we want to be the biggest show in town, and we have the athletes in which to do so, and we've got the support around us to do it, so let's make it a great environment.
Can you preview the fall season a little bit, what fans can look forward to?
Well, we got a lot of great teams again, right? Volleyball's sitting at number one in the country again, which seems like, oh, here they are again, right? But, boy, never want to take that for granted. They're an outstanding team, and they're doing some really unbelievable things. And they've got some good tests coming up here as well, and a great conference and a GPAC for volleyball. Football, obviously, sitting at number 2 in the country, and they're getting ready to kick off this coming weekend. You got Sockers that are off to a good start, and they're trying to, some younger teams there, but finding themselves as well. Cross country gets going, and I'm going to miss some sports here as well. We got to, the fall gets crazy busy this time of the year, but I said it before, and I'll say it continually again. We have unbelievable coaches here who recruit unbelievable student athletes who really fit the mission of Northwestern College. And when you do that, you have a chance to be successful every single day. And so, our mission is honor Christ through excellent athletics. We want to continue to do that, and we believe that honoring is being at our best at all the times. And fortunately, we've got some amazing athletes who are doing some amazing things, and guys like me just get to watch them flourish and be excellent in what they do. So, I never want to take for granted the success that we have here at Northwestern College. Others across the country are always envious of what this place is. Prior to me coming here a year ago, I was envious of this place. What makes this place so uniquely special? And I think it truly is the people. It's the people who live out the mission of this place that make it uniquely special, and it's a lot of fun to be a part of.
And to have excellent teams, you need to have excellent supporters. How can Red Raider fans support through various RAA and other sponsorships like that?
Yeah, it's a good point there, too. The price of success is real. And, so we hope and we plan for some success again this fall. Last year, I think I saw the note where we had 14 different conference championships in some capacity, teams competing in national championships. All of those are amazing experiences. We want to create a big-time experience no matter what we do, but that comes at a cost as well. And so if you haven't joined the Raider Athletic Association, maybe you've joined in the past and you haven't joined yet, or maybe you've never joined before, you can go to the website, nwcraiders.com, join online there, or you can reach out to myself or any of our administrative team, and we can definitely get you information. There's also a Raider Athletic Association board. If you're interested in wanting to be a part of that, you can contact myself or Steve Jacob. But that's a great opportunity to be involved in meetings that are 3 times a year and really be involved. I think we're about 75 members of that. A lot of local community members that are a part of that there too. And if you want to be a corporate sponsor, we've got great opportunities to partner with Red Raider Athletics and build out the corporate needs of what we can do to help you and create win-win situations for Raider Athletics and our corporate entities. So all that being said is we have unbelievable support here. I never want to take that for granted. We have unbelievable people, and this community is a really special place to be a part of, and I'm really fortunate to be able to partner with so many great entities.
Any other words to leave with our fans?
I would just say it's an amazing place, and we are, I'm happy that it's in year 2, and I'm not running around in circles all the time. I actually, joked a little bit when I did staff introductions last year. I was introducing people that I didn't even know. So it's good to not have those situations this year. But no, it's exciting to see once. Last year, a lot of it was learning about what Northwestern College was, and this year I think we can implement some things that can continue to enhance and grow what the great things that have already occurred at Northwestern College and continue to flourish in a new and exciting, excellent ways. But appreciate the work your team's doing, Bradley, as we continue to brand Northwestern Athletics through events like this. And, we're just getting started this fall. It's going to be an exciting fall, and it's exciting throughout the rest of the year.
Tony, I'm grateful for how you lead our team and looking forward to a great year. So thank you to all of our viewers who joined us either live in the Hub or online on the GPAC network, and we'll see you on the Raider Coaches Show again next month.
Members of the Raider Athletics Association support Northwestern student athletes through gifts that fund scholarships and facility improvements. When you join the team behind the team, you're helping Raiders continue to